All right, we can start. Okay, you're on, Jose. So let's start with
Okay,
installing
so
the NetBeans. All right, so on your screen there, that's the URL for downloading NetBeans, which we already did. And so now we can go and install NetBeans.
do I click the link again? Oh,
So it should be in your downloads folder, right? You go to the
I
Windows.
believe so.
Yep, there you go. And there it is, that first one. Okay. Yep, next. All right, it's installing. Excellent. Okay, I just asked Alex and Naomi if they have NetBeans up and running, just to make sure. All right. And I did add a repository up on GitHub for this challenge, and later on, when we're done, I will upload my solution up there in case anyone wants to view the full working solution later on. All right. So it's done, and we can run it. Let's try. So you can minimize that window. Okay, and you can minimize the browser window.
Can you repeat that?
You can minimize the browser window. Okay. So now, yep. So there's the shortcut. You can click on that. There it goes. It's running. So you can just close that. You don't need that.
Okay.
And you can close that browser window. Yeah. Okay. So now, okay. So you can click on File on the top there. So
This one?
the upper left, there's a File. Yep. And then the new project. And then you can give it a name. So you can call it Sudoku Solver or whatever you want. So actually select the second one, Java with Gradle. And then click Next. Click Activate. Okay, it's installing the Groovy plugin. Okay, so now you can give it a name for the project name.
Okay. And do I add anything else?
Nope, you can just click finish and it'll create the project.
Do I click OK?
Yep. Let's create a project. Alex asked for the link and I sent it to him. Okay, excellent. All right, so now we have a blank project with a class called main. Any questions there for me before we continue? Oh, okay, we're still doing stuff.
Okay.
All right, now it's done. Okay. All right. So any questions before we continue, Jose?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. So if you want, you can bring up that tutorial in your browser window. And if you need the link for it, let me know. I can paste it over there for you.
I think I will need the link.
Okay, let me get that to you. Let me just paste it into here. There we go.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a tutorial up on this website. And if you go down, okay, all right, let's pause. Okay, oh, there you go. Okay. Now, so this tutorial begins with this test board, and according to this, right, it's supposed to be the hardest Sudoku board. So before we continue,
Yeah.
do you understand the basic idea of Sudoku and how it works?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. So why do you think this is the hardest one?
I think it's the hardest one just because it's missing a lot of numbers and there's not a lot of repeating numbers in the board.
Right, exactly. Yep, you got it. Okay, so that's the board. Okay, you can go down a little more, and he shows you the solution. Yep, so that's what the completed thing looks like. Yep. And then he goes into the actual kind of the algorithm that the tutorial uses to solve it. And I included a link to Wikipedia that explains what backtracking algorithm is. Did you have any questions on how that works, or? No? Okay. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to copy that board. See that int?
Okay.
Yep. So that thing, yep, you can copy and paste that into your NetBeans. And what you want to do is, so after main class curly bracket, so the next line after that.
Under what?
So after the class main, we'll go to the line right after it. A little higher, go up to like line 13. So, yep, and do a paste
Right there?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little hard to hear with this computer.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what do you think this is?
Not really sure.
Not really sure? Okay. So basically this is a two-dimensional array, which is a fancy word for a spreadsheet. Right, so it's got rows and columns, right? And if we look at
Yep.
the example board that he had, it's exactly the same, right? So all this is
yes,
we're just creating the kind of the board, and it's just it's got rows and columns, so it has the same number of rows and columns as a Sudoku puzzle, and then it just has zeros for the missing values, and then the real numbers for the ones that are filled in. Yep. Okay, so we can go back to the tutorial. Right. And then the next part is this. And this is basically a method that will take a board. So you notice here it says private boolean solve, and it takes that spreadsheet, that two-dimensional array, it takes it in, and then it has these for loops. And then at the end it returns true. So you can copy and paste this into the main method. So go down to static void main string args. So you want to go to line 28 and paste it. So delete line. So go to the end of line 28, hit enter, and then you want line 28.
28.
Yep. Okay. At the end there, hit enter, and then do paste.
Oops.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you can actually delete that comment if you want. You can just delete those. Yeah, so all that means is there's an error, so you can just delete. Just highlight that and delete. Yep. And then paste. Okay. So you'll notice here a whole bunch of red, and that means that it doesn't know what to do.
Is it due to the missing numbers?
Good question. Okay. So what this means then in NetBeans and in IDEs is that it can't compile the code because it's not valid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what it's saying is we're trying to put a function inside of this method. So delete this. So just highlight that and delete it. Yeah. So now go to line 23 at the end there and hit enter. So a new line, and then paste. Okay. So now notice we still get some red, but it's a lot less.
Yes.
And so why do you think it's you've got those red lines under board start, board size, and all of that. Why do you think it's highlighting those?
The board is incomplete.
Okay.
Maybe.
So basically, when it highlights something like that, it means those variables haven't been defined.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So now, if we define those errors should go away. So if we go back to the tutorial, look to see where he defines those variables. Okay, yep, so it's not there. Where did he put it? Let's look. Interesting. Did he not put it in? It looks like he didn't define those on that page.
No, it doesn't appear to have it.
All right. So, okay. That's kind of funny. See, he didn't define those. Okay. Check constraints. Invalid. Print board. So let me open that up also. And, yeah, so he literally didn't define those. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I seem to find it.
Yep, I don't think we need. So if we do a find on that page for it, let's see if it comes up. Yeah, no, he didn't define it. Okay, so what do you think the rows should be?
Right on top of it.
Okay, so let's go back to NetBeans. Okay, so we have private boolean solve, and it takes board n, and then it says for int row equals to the board start index, and then it has row is less than board size. So let's go with the easy one. What do you think the board size should be?
9.
Yep. So then you can declare a variable. So you can go up above that method. So go to line 23 and add another line. Yep. And then you can type int space and then board size, right? That's the name of the variable, and then what the value should be.
Can you repeat that?
So you want to do int and then the name of the variable, right? Which in this case is board size, right? And the cases have to match. Yep, there you go. Oh, there's an underline there between board and size. It's kind of hard to read with the red line there.
Then equal to 9?
Yep, but I think there's a typo there. His variable has board underline in size, and you have a space, so that's different. So it needs to have an underline. Yep, and then equals to. Yep, and do a semicolon. Yep. So now notice that the board size turned green, right? See that?
Yes.
So now you can fix those other variables.
So do I add it in the same line, or do I add a new one?
I usually put variables in new lines, just makes it easier to read.
Okay.
But technically, you could define a whole bunch of them in one line if you wanted to, but it's kind of looks ugly.
Mm, and this one should be 9 also.
What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure where it starts.
Okay, so that's a good question, right? So in
Yeah.
most programming languages, when you have a list of things, usually the indexes start from 0. And so you can try 0 and see if that works. Okay. And then
Um,
what other errors are there?
no value, max value, min value, and is valid.
Okay, so is valid is a method, so we can do that one last. So you wanted to find no
Okay.
value, min, and max value, right?
Yes. And for no value, should I put a 0?
Good question. What do you think it should be?
I think it's 0.
Yep.
Then
Okay, I'm going to ask the others if any questions.
for the minimum value, should it be 0 or 1?
So that depends on the rules of the game, right? So what is the rules of Sudoku about min values and max values?
The smallest number it could be is 1, and the maximum value is 9.
Yep, there you go. All right. So now we can go back to the tutorial and find that is valid method. You could do a control F to find is valid. That might be the fastest way. Oh, I think there's no space. It's just one word, I think. Okay, and then click the down arrow on the next one. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you want to copy and paste that into your class. So you can add it after the solve method. You can yep, there you go. Okay. So now notice when you paste that in, that error for is valid went away, but now we have 3 new errors.
Yes.
So those are also methods that you need to copy and paste from the tutorial.
Mm, I'm not seeing it.
Let me look. So it's a row constraint. Oh, it's there. It was right after the is valid. There was three methods. Yep. See, there it is.
Oh.
Column constraint, subsection constraint. Okay. I'm gonna add the. Okay, so that's good. So one of them got fixed, and now I want the row constraint and column constraint.
Yeah. And check constraint.
Yep.
See if it's there. Okay, it's right here. Still having the row and column constraint.
Yep.
Here.
Yep. You gotta add those. So those methods need to be. I think it's higher up a little bit. I think where those two go. Yep. So there's column and there's the row.
Okay, now row constraint.
Yep.
Okay. Now we need subsection size.
Yep. Okay, so the subsection size, what do you think that is?
The size of the board.
Yep, so it's a variable, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's fix all the methods that are missing first, and then we can then go back and fix the variables that are missing. Okay. Alright, and go up a little more. Okay, so there. So we fixed the isValid function, so that's all good, right? There's no more red in that method. So isValid is all good.
Yes.
And we can go down. Okay, and so now there we have those variables that is saying we haven't declared. So what do you think the subsection size should be?
3.
Yep. So you can define a variable that's 3.
Should I add the line underneath it or on top of it?
So I usually add my variables at the top, so just to keep things kind of nice and organized. So you can go to the top and add it up there. Yep. Yeah, after all your other ones.
What is it called again?
You can copy and paste the variable name, and that'll be easier than typing it. And you can, if you don't know the shortcuts for it, just Control C and Control V.
Oh.
So if you like double click on that variable name, you can do Control C. Yep, and then go up to the top, and then do Control V. Yep. Alright. And now if we go down, those, yep, there you go. Yeah, so we fixed those ones, and now we have two more errors lower down. And what are those ones? Okay, so this is instream.range. Okay.
And how do we solve that?
Ah, good question. So what do you think instream is?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay. So do a find on that tutorial page for instream and see what he says about it.
Doesn't seem to recognize it.
Let's see, where's it called? Let me see here. Oh, it's instream. That's why. Intstream.
Did I type it right? Oh, Intstream.
Yep. Okay, so on that page. Okay. Alright, so it's there. Okay. Alright, so does he explain what that is? Intstream?
Just gives me command. Doesn't seem to explain it.
Yep, he doesn't explain it. Yeah, so he kind of assumed that you knew what it was. So Google is your friend. Let's type in that into Google and see what we get back. So this is a common thing with tutorials is oftentimes people will assume that you know what something is. Okay, so the very first one there at the top, you see that? Okay, click on that link. So what does it say?
A sequence of primitive value elements supporting in sequential and parallel aggregated operations.
Okay. So now, if we go back to NetBeans, right, and if you move your mouse over Intstream, it might give you a suggestion. So it says cannot find symbol, and it says Alt-Enter to show hints. So press Alt and Enter.
I don't think it's shown.
Try right click, see if that does it. Okay, so is there a show hint? Oh, it doesn't show hints. Okay, so basically that's a standard utility that comes with Java, and if you go back to the Google page, it tells you the full name of that. So it's in the package java.util.stream. You'll see it in the upper left there.
Where?
So so go up a little higher. Oh, see that? It says java.util.stream.
Yes.
Right? So you want to import java.util.stream.intstream in your NetBeans project, and that should fix that problem. Let me go to the very top. Up higher, even higher. All the way to the top. Yep, okay. So after the package, you can type import space import, I-M-P-O-R-T.
Oh.
So import means to bring in a library.
Bring a library?
So import, I-M-P-O-R-T. Space, and then paste that. Okay. And now if you type period, it'll give you some suggestions, I think. Okay. And if you mouse down or scroll down to int stream, you see it?
Int stream.
So you see
this one?
So double click on the int stream one. Nope, go higher. Nope. Higher, higher, higher. Keep going up. Right there. Oh, past it.
This one?
Let's see, that's one, two, three, four. The fifth one. So go back to that line, the line 6. Actually, no, you want line 7. Sorry. And then, so actually, just type int stream, and that should fix it. With a capital I and a capital S, I think. And then you want semicolon.
Oh.
Okay. Now notice those red things went away. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what this is, so it's similar to Python, right? We have those imports. So in general, in programming, import just means like bring in this library of stuff that someone else has already written. In the case of Java, there's a ton of stuff that comes like automatically when you use Java, and this is one of the standard libraries that come with Java. Okay. So now, do you see any more red errors?
Nope, it doesn't appear to have any more.
Okay. All right, so now go to the main method.
To the main one?
So go down to main method, like line 99. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can create a new instance of this, and then we can try to run it. So let me just give you show you an example. So you would do something like something like that in yours. I think is yours. Yeah. So Yours is uppercase. Okay, so it would be like this. So you would do something like that, and then you would do main dot, and let's see here. What did he call it? He called it solve. So it would be main dot solve, and then main dot board. So let me just do this. Copy this, and I'll paste it over here. Or something like this. Okay, so copy and paste that example into that main method, and see, maybe we should be able to run it.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Okay.
And how do I save it?
The shortcut is Control S.
Control S?
Yep. That's the keyboard shortcut. Okay, and now you should be able to click on the green play button at the top, and it hopefully will play it, or will run it. Okay, so it did something, but then we don't see the results.
Yeah.
Okay, so go back to the tutorial. How does he print out the results? I think it's further down in the tutorial he talks about it.
Um, um, I don't think I see it.
Okay. So go down the page to exact cover problem, and you'll see where he kind of starts to put everything together.
Where do I scroll up?
I think it's like section 4.3 in that tutorial. Yep. So you can read that real quick, and you notice there he actually has those variables defined. See that?
Yep. I think we defined them correctly.
So you can double check against what you have just to make sure you're correct.
First time index. Board size. Let's start index. I don't think I have the constraints one.
So do you think you should add it?
I think so.
Okay. While you do that, I'm going to come over here.
Didn't give me any errors, so I think it's correct.
Okay.
Should I run it again?
Yep, you can. I'm just going to do mine here real quick.
Not sure what I'm missing.
Okay, so you can compare what he has in this more full example against yours and see what the differences are. And while you do that, I'm going to get mine working.
Okay, it's nice. Correct. No value. No. It appears to be correct.
Okay, so are you missing anything that he has in his example? Like, does he have additional methods that you don't have?
Yes. He has cover start index on his.
Mm-hmm.
And subsection size. Oh no, I have that. So I'm gonna add the cover start index.
Okay.
Let's see if that happens. And I get an error. Oh, never mind. Just already added it. I have everything he has.
Okay. Let's see. And then when you run it, okay, so what does his main method look like after it runs? Does it call print or something, or does it print out the results in his example?
So it's insane too.
Yeah, so that's yours, but what does his do when he runs it?
I don't think he shows. There are no more columns, and we can find out.
Let me see if he's got a link to the full code anywhere on this page here. Oh, actually he does. Okay. There we go. So near the bottom, he has a link to the GitHub with working example.
Near the bottom?
Yeah, let's see. Near the bottom. Search for over on GitHub and you'll find the link.
Over and get help?
On GitHub. Or just search GITHUB, GitHub.
Oh, GitHub?
Yep, yeah.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, so you want to search for GitHub.
On Google or?
On that page. He has a link to his GitHub, which has a solver. Let me see. He has it in his source code.
Okay.
So click on the source folder. And yep, so double click on that. And go to main. And then go to algorithms. Yeah. And if you scroll down, you'll see a folder called Sudoku. Oh, wrong thing. Go back.
And which one do I click?
Good question. So which one do you think you should click on?
Backtracking algorithm?
Yep, that's the one. Okay. So now what you could do is you can, if you click raw at the top there, you can, yep, and you can copy and paste the whole thing into yours. So skip the package, just go from import and all the way down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I click it on the bottom?
Yep, so go from the bottom and go all the way up until below package and then paste.
So here?
One line, yep, there you go. Now paste it. Okay. Oh, okay. So notice now if you go to the top, so he calls his backtracking and ours is main. So just rename backtracking to main.
Okay. Did I change it?
Yeah, just change from backtracking. See the public class backtracking? Just rename backtracking to main with a capital M. No, just main.
Just saying? Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, and delete the algorithm part. You don't need that. Yep. There you go. Now save it and run it. And hopefully this will print out the result. Oh, okay. So notice there's a red arrow there, a red mark. You can scroll down to the red and see why. Ah, okay, there you go. So we need to change that to main, right?
Yes.
Anything else? No? Okay. Let's try running it. Hey, all right.
Did it?
Hooray. And you get the results. So now, does that match the one that he shows on the tutorial page at the top?
Let's see.
There it is. Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, it matches.
Okay. All right. Good job. And the hour is up. Any questions? Did that make sense? Or did?
Yes.
Okay. So, any questions about what the algorithm is and how it works? So, from the code, how would you explain what that main method is doing to solve it? If you go back to the code.
Oh. I guess it's just trying and testing which numbers would fit in the empty spaces.
Mm-hmm. And so how is it doing that?
It goes and puts a number and sees the probability of it functioning in that space.
Right, so if you scroll down, let's see. Yeah, so there you go. So that's the meat of it, right? Right there.
Yeah.
So why do you think it has one of the loops in there, right, has return false, and then it has return true inside of that?
Uh, I guess it's to check if it works, and if it doesn't, then it tries a different number.
Ah, okay. So now you'll notice there on line 52, right? It has is valid, it passes in the board, the row, the column, and it calls itself. See that? It calls solve again.
Yep.
So what do you think that's doing?
Checking the rows and columns, seeing that there's no repeating numbers in them.
Right. So when would that return true? That block, the if is valid board and solve board.
When there's no repeating numbers.
Okay. Yeah. So in programming, this is called a recursive function because it calls itself. Right? So it starts at the top,
Yep.
and it goes, okay, we start with the row, we're starting with 0, and it goes to the first column, and checks the column and the row, and it says, okay, does it have any value? It has no value, right? So if it's 0, it then does this check for k equals to the lowest value, which in this case is 1, and is less than the max value. It iterates over the next row and column, and then it checks, right? And so until it's done, it'll always return false. Yeah. And so then, and notice that when it does that check, it's calling itself. So it's actually recursively calling itself again and again and again. Any questions about what that means and how that works?
I think I got the gist of it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Good job. And your next task is to kind of write a journal entry and explain in your own words what this program does. Good job, and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Okay.